Hey guys, welcome to the Color Me Mike podcast. So just a quick disclaimer up here at the top. Anything said during this podcast only reflects on me and or the guest. Sonity has nothing to do at all with anything that's being said here. Sonity is just a cool boba milk tea shop in Fremont, California that is kind enough to let us record the podcast here at their shop and kind enough to hook us up with some boba milk tea drinks. So everybody just chill and enjoy the episode. Do you prefer Mike or Michael? I never asked you that before. All right, so you do podcasts. You know how close to keep this thing here. What's the name of your podcast?
Bail Gun.
Say that again.
It's called Bail Gun.
Bail Gun.
Yeah.
What's the story behind that, dude?
It comes from skateboarding because me and my homie that do it are we're skaters. It's just a term for like the camera because you'll be doing really good and then you pull out the camera and you can't land anything. It's a bail gun.
Dude, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it's like anytime you want to show someone something, all of a sudden it doesn't work anymore, right? Well, that's what happened with your mic. Xavier wanted to show me how great your mic was. How fucking so many people turn it up. And as soon as I show up, no one's coming around.
Yeah, you're the bail gun on my mic for sure.
I literally am, though. That's what's so crazy. That's what makes it funny because it's fucking true, it seems like. Because you said last week when I wasn't there, you guys had a great turnout.
Yeah, it was a good turnout. And the crowd was really nice, too. People were actually like listening and not talking over it.
But to be fair, that is what's good about your mic in general. Because even when it was light, the six people are there are actually listening.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they pay attention pretty well. And,
What do you
the
think that
bartender's
is?
pretty good about keeping people like shutting the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know
Do you
what I
think
mean?
it's the bartender?
I think it's a bit the bartender, and it's a bit like Livermore's like starved for stuff. Starved for things to do. So whenever there's anything like that, they're just like, oh yes, something finally. You know,
you're just getting disgusted with me removing the oil. I'm like, dude, I get fucking oily skin, man. That's not something there.
I just let myself be oily. I'm like, whatever.
Well, you gotta understand, like, look, I'm 41. I'm still getting fucking pimples. This shit is supposed to
Jesus,
stop.
you're 41?
Yeah, I'm 41, and I'm still.
Damn, Asian don't raisin. This
Yeah,
shit true.
I'm still getting fucking pimples, dude. This shit is supposed to stop at a certain point.
It's
but
like the voice cracking thing, right? It never goes away.
So it's like this one. Look at that. Look how transparent that shit is, dude. God, it's fucking nuts, right? Dude, and it's 1 p.m. Dude, it's 1 p.m. Look how transparent. I know people can't see this. If you're listening, you can't see it, but I'm using this like oil absorption sheet, and this thing is so translucent, and that's just half of my face.
You could
and
fry
it's
up
1
some
p.m.
chicken with that oil, bro. Oh my god,
it's bad, dude. I don't know what to do with it, but it's just kind of been like one of the struggles of my life. Is this like, I know it's a first world problem. How fucking much of a diva could I be right now? Right? It's a podcast.
Oh god, I'm so oily.
I'm getting rid of the oil on my skin. And
meanwhile, there's like somebody in Cambodia going, "I had to eat my fucking cat."
Yeah, I know. I got my priorities set straight. But so, how long have you been doing that, Mike, at Good Time Tavern there?
Since February of this year.
And how long have you been doing comedy?
December last year. So 8 months
so
now.
like essentially after 2 months, you decided to start your own mic. Why?
I was just tired of having to drive like 45 minutes an hour all the time to go do shit. I was like, there has to be a way for me to stay in town and do this. So and I'm friends with the owners of the bar. Like I've known them for a long time, or a while. And I just hit them up one day and was like, can I do this? And they're like, fuck yeah, we can't pay you. And I'm like, I don't care about that. So just started up.
No, you have one of the best deals going on there for comics where they get 2 free drinks, and this is just a mic. It's not even a bar show. I mean, that's so unheard of. Usually, people are trying to encourage comics to buy drinks. Like, hey, I'm going to give you an extra 2 minutes if you buy a drink, right?
Yeah.
But you have the exact opposite, where like comics are well taken care of over there.
Yeah, that wasn't even my idea. That was one of the bartenders was like, hey, we'll give the comics some free drinks. I'm like, fuck yeah, that sounds great. And it's just more incentive to like get people out, and I think that's why I always get a good turnout as far as like the comics, because it is such a like welcoming and like a very comic friendly environment.
Yeah, I will say, I don't know how you've done it, but you've avoided having the toxic comics go around to your mic. I don't know how. I mean, let's be honest, they do exist.
Yeah,
and there's quite a few out there, but for some reason, the ones who go out there are not, and that they're cool.
Might have something to do with like how late the show is.
You think so?
And that for like for me it's in my hometown, but for the rest of you guys, you all have to like journey out there, and it's like it goes so late. So I think that has something to do with like keeping the shitty guys out, and only people that really like want to do it come, you know.
You're born and raised in Livermore?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, dude, Livermore's a nice town now.
No,
I heard it didn't used to be, but
it was nice growing up.
Yeah.
For sure, it was cool. Just nice like little suburb vibes, you know, with like that small, because it's still like has that small ranch town feel to it, you know. So
you got a little something right here.
Oh, I do?
So,
that one.
yeah. Do you appreciate that when people actually bother to tell you got something in your face?
Yeah, I hate when people just stand there and they're like,
Well, I hate it even worse if they don't say anything at all.
mm-hmm.
Especially if you got something stuck in between your teeth.
Oh yeah, that's the worst. Big old piece of spinach or something.
Yeah, I mean, are you the kind of person, would you say if I had something stuck between teeth, would you tell me?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because there are people out there who won't.
I know, right? That's some like social anxiety thing, or like they're just trying to be polite, and I fully missed the polite and like the polite and the personal space part of school. I wasn't there for that day, so I just don't have that.
Oh, speaking of school, I remember we were hanging out one night there at Good Time Tavern, and you were telling us about your glory days in high school. Oh my God, you were getting more action than anyone I've ever heard of, dude.
Yeah, man. I had fun.
It was like, I think it was me, Xavier, and Lou. We were just listening to you, right?
Yeah.
Our jaws are all just dropped. And it's like, what, you guys didn't fuck like this in high school? No, man. No.
You guys didn't get like a master class on eating pussy? Like, come on, guys.
Like, what did you attribute that to? I don't know. Why do you think you were so successful like that?
I think it's just like a combination of being really lucky, and I've just always been really outgoing, and like I don't give a shit what people think of me or how I look to people or anything. So I think that has a lot to do with it too. Just the confidence and the willingness to put myself out there and be in like weird and awkward situations and stuff like that, and like just throwing shit at the wall, you know, because like you throw 100 darts at the wall, one of them's got to fucking stick, you know. So that's what I was doing. I was throwing my dick at the wall, just fucking whatever hole it lands in, man.
You know what? I feel like people don't realize just how brilliant what you said is, because it is brilliant, because that is the approach you have to have right there. It's just, you just got to keep going after it, and you know most of it's not going to work, but it's just, you know, I guess this is sounding horrible to the ladies. I'm saying it's just a numbers game, but you do kind of you got to have that mindset, right? Where you're not afraid to try and realize that most of it's not going to work out. But if you try 1,000 times, even if it only works, let's say 10% of the time, that's still 100 times of that it worked out great.
Yeah, I think that mentality comes from skateboarding for me, because that's very much what skateboarding is just trying the same thing over and over thousands of times until you land one trick, and then you're like, oh, okay, now I can do this trick, and then I never
thought about it that way. Yeah, because you were telling me, because I was telling you, like, I tried skating, but I could never even pick up an ollie, and I just gave up. But you told me an ollie takes forever.
Yeah, that's like the hardest part of skating is like getting to that point where you can do the ollie, and then once you figure that out, all the doors open up and you can start learning all the other tricks. But yeah, just like some people, it took me like probably a year or two of skating to like learn how to actually ollie properly and get up on curves.
You never got discouraged that whole time?
Oh, I mean, yeah, but it's like I'm broken. I like shit that's really difficult and then I'm really bad at. If I'm good at something, like immediately, I get bored really quickly. The shit that I suck at is what I become obsessed with.
Where do you think that comes from?
I don't know. I don't know. I've never really tried to like.
Yeah, because if you're already that way, like how old were you when you started skating?
Probably like 11 or 12.
Yeah, so if that's already in you at 11 or 12, that's interesting. I wonder where that comes from.
I don't know. Probably like a little bit of self-hatred.
We all got self-hatred.
Yeah.
We're all comics, right? So,
yeah,
we've all got that.
I don't know where that comes from. I don't know. Probably my upbringing, something to do with like how my dad treated me, and so I'm just like, I don't know.
Because most kids, I mean, think about it. I don't know how, like, I mean, honestly, like at my age, it's hard to remember what I was like as a little kid. But I feel like kids in general give up pretty easily.
Yeah.
Right? So for you to stick it out like that, that's interesting.
I'm trying to teach that to my daughter, like, because she's a year and 8 months or something like that now. And every time she like gets frustrated with something, and you know, like she's a baby, so she'll like get mad and like throw it or like scream at it or something and like try to give up, and I won't let her. Like I always like go over to her, I'm like, hey, calm down. Like, not everything in life is going to be easy. Like, let's figure this out. You know, chill.
Does she
Take a
understand
second.
that at 1 year and 8 months?
A little bit. Like, it's still like a little bit like talking to a wall, but some of it's getting
I
through.
feel it's more the energy that you're putting out, huh?
Yeah, I think that's the most important
Wow,
part.
you have a daughter. How old are you?
27.
You have a daughter? I mean, yeah, that's a decent age to have. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm 41. I should have like fucking 4 kids
Well,
at this point.
I was hoping to wait till like my 30s, but my lady got her IUD taken out, and we're rabbits, and so I couldn't wait. And we don't like condoms, so as soon as that thing came out,
I remember my 20s. Don't worry, that goes away. No, but you know what? If I have to be perfectly honest, I've always been like my libido, if you that is what it's called, my sexual appetite. It's always been on the lower side. You know, even during my 20s, like I'm the kind of guy like. And we're talking about how many times you could fuck in one day. For me, it's always been like twice tops.
Oh, dude, one,
Yeah.
bro. I
Really?
need a nap. Like I'm not, I'm not overly sexual either. I like fucking, and I like fucking my lady. It's great to have like a constant person that I can just be like, hey, let's, you know. But like one a day. Like that's totally cool with me. Fucking. You want that second nut, you really got to work hard on that one.
Yeah,
Bitch. Like, I'm
man,
not giving
dude.
that up.
It's especially if it's the same woman, it's tough. Like back in my 20s, maybe if it was a different girl every day, yeah, sure,
Yeah.
easily. God, this is really turning like a misogynist. But you know what? I'm just gonna be honest about who I am.
Dude, I think every podcast I'm on or have just turns into talking about fucking for like an hour.
I mean, we're guys. I mean, it's gonna come up sooner or later.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, because I had this friend. Like his recovery period is ridiculous. He would tell me like a minute later he'd be ready to go again afterward.
Jesus.
It's like I need 24 hours minimum.
For
Like,
sure.
Minimum.
For sure.
Yeah, so it's like that just blows my mind away that someone could do that. I mean, would I want the same thing? I don't know. I mean, you can only be who you are, right? So it's yeah.
I don't think I'm as a like. I mean, I'm getting older, you know, but I don't think I'm as a like obsessed with fucking as I used to be. And I think it's part of it's because I did so much.
Oh yeah,
fucking.
you did some damage in
Like-
high school, dude.
Like girls and guys, I went through the
Dude.
gambit, and so I think I got it all out of my system,
Yeah.
and now I'm just happy with like regularity. You know?
So if you had to, actually go look over the bags. Your drink might be ready. You just see. I can keep talking here. Is it your drink ready yet? Not yet. Okay, thank you. I don't know why I'm saying thank you. Hey Michelle, can you just put the drink here when it's ready so we can see it and we'll grab it? Thank you. All right, there you go. You like how I'm ordering the employee?
This has to be-
It's like,
This has to be the most Asian thing you could possibly have done. Do a podcast in a boba shop.
yeah.
Like-
you know what it is? It's because I love. Do you ever watch Seinfeld's comedians in cars getting coffee?
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to do like my own take on it, and yeah, being Asian, like I review boba spots with my wife. I was like, yeah, let's put boba on the spot because why people fuck with boba, but it's definitely not super mainstream yet.
No, not yet.
Either,
yeah.
right? So anything I can do to help, put that out there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I like the vibe. I do. And,
Yeah,
it looks cool.
I mean, I didn't set it up, but yeah, Sonity, you guys hear that? You guys have a good thing going on here. But what's funny is, I remember the first time I met you, I did your mic. You had the most original burn on me that I've never heard. And no one's ever said that. He said like it's a Filipino guy who's just like a rich Chinese man or a Chinese entrepreneur.
Chinese national that just
Yeah,
came
so
here.
yeah, I was
Just
like-
found the Ralph Lauren store.
Yeah, I even had to ask you, like, what'd you say? Like, it just took me by surprise. I'd never heard that one.
I can't believe you have
Yeah, I
that,
never heard that one. That's why I was like, it took me by surprise. I was like, yeah, I like that. That's
dude.
like,
If you went to the San Francisco outlets in Livermore dressed like that, they would shuffle you back on the tour bus. Like, come on, we got to go back home. You're like, I'm not one of you. They're like, shut up. Yes, you are.
oh, that's so funny. Oh my god, no, that's fucking. It's spot on though. That's I love it. I was like, I don't mind being fucked with like that. Because there's. I feel like if we're comics, you have to be able to put up with stuff like that, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's what we do. We talk shit, right?
Yeah.
We bust balls.
If you can't be one of those dudes that like can give it but can't take it.
There's
you
some
know?
people, some comics out there are like that, though, which surprises me.
Pussies, man. They're fucking pussies. Like, if I can't like, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm gonna say that joke about you, and then you'd be like, well, you dress like a fucking like I don't know,
that's all.
but
We're just talking shit, busting balls, having fun,
Yeah.
right?
that's the best part. That's my favorite part of doing comedy. Besides the actual like act of comedy, is the
hang.
shitting on us like
right,
afterwards. The hang.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like usually, because I'm trying to hit up multiple mics, I'm not really hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
So your mic is one of the few places where I actually hang.
Yeah.
And I know I probably wish that I stopped coming so the numbers stay high up there. I swear to God, if I go there again before I leave and the numbers are light, I'm really convinced there's something going on here. Yeah.
I think you just came at the. I think you just came at like the like low point of the year for the bar, because it's like it was cold and then it was too hot, and then like when it's like really nice out at night, people are usually like actually downtown at the other bars, because like Good Times is the dive bar of the town, and it's like
not just further up the street. It's called the actual downtown. Yeah, I
Yeah.
did a show there yesterday. Yeah, it's
Oh,
really
really?
nice. Yeah.
yeah, so it's like the dive bar of the town. It's usually the last bar people go to in town. So I think you just came at like a awkward spot in the year.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
I don't think
you.
it's,
There
I
you
don't think
go.
it's, as much as I like to keep saying it's the leaping out curse. So.
I know. At least I'll have some sort of legacy here. But,
Yeah.
but I want to go back to your high school days, man. So, if you had to like give me a number out the top of your head, how many people do you think?
At least over, probably at least over 30 under.
God damn.
Over 30 under 60. So it kind of somewhere in that
Holy
range.
Shit,
I don't know.
dude.
There's
in
a lot of
high
drugs
school.
involved. Yeah.
In high school. Oh,
Oh,
my
yeah.
God.
We got to think like my school, the school across town. I started going to AA meetings at 18 because I like got in trouble and had to do this outpatient rehab thing. And so girls in AA, and then dudes in San Jose, and like it's there's a lot of
God
fucking.
damn. And you say you don't like using condoms. Were you using protection back then?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you
It's
never had
just
like
my
any
lady, I don't
STD scares or anything like that?
No, one time this
That's a lot
crazy
of
lady
people,
followed me
dude.
home. We hooked up after an AA meeting, and then like I just ghosted her, and she found out where I lived, came to my house while my lady and her friend were like there, and we're like leaving, and she's standing across the street of her car, and she's screaming at me, "You gave me HPV! Fuck you!" Like just going nuts. And my lady's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Oh, some crazy bitch from AA." Like she thinks I don't know. And then I remember like right after that being like, I should go get tested. And I'm like, I don't have HPV. I'm fine. I like asked 3 of my friends. I'm like, do you have HPV? No. Okay, I'm fine. You guys are good. I must be good.
Yeah, that's reliable right there. Oh, there you go. Your drink's ready now, man.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, go for it, grab it. Oh my God, I can't. I mean, those numbers are phenomenal for like. That would be phenomenal just for anybody. But the fact that you did that in high school,
Yeah.
I mean, that's like you should be on Mount Olympus. You know,
I
it's
think
like,
what makes it even more impressive was like I was not a popular kid.
I know that's what you were telling us,
Yeah.
right?
I was a big old loser. Like everybody made fun of me, and like all the dudes would call me faggot and stuff, and
So-
I'd just be fucking their girlfriends behind their backs.
I know, like so. That's why I'm like, what was your approach? Like, I don't get it because by all outward appearances, it shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, for
Right.
sure. For sure. I don't know. I think it's just I'm nice. I'm very like I would be like their friend. I would be their homie, and then just the options was always there. I'd make like light jokes, or you know what I mean. Like I just kind of would find the back door in, and all pun intended. And yeah,
Oh wow!
I think there was something to it too about like because I was the like loser of the school, or I was the guy everybody made fun of. So there was some like little bit of like, oh, but like a mystery almost, or like I don't know.
What would they make fun of you about?
Oh, just everybody would just call me like faggot and shit, and like I was like the gay scapegoat for everybody.
Because you're bisexual, right?
Yeah,
But were
and
you open about it?
No, I wasn't out about it.
So were they just calling you faggot just because that's what teenage guys do?
Mm-hmm. And it started in middle school. One of my friends, she came out as bi, and like I think I was in 7th grade and she was in 8th grade, and she lost like half her friend group for no fucking reason. Like looking back now, like especially in 2022, you're like, well, what the fuck's wrong with people? You know what I mean?
But how old was she then? 7th grade, you said?
She was in 8th grade. I was in 7th
Okay.
grade, so she's probably like 13, 14. And she came out, lost a bunch of her friends, and so it made me like start thinking like, well, would that happen to me? Like, are my friends really my friends? Like, what the hell? And so I, on the way to class one day, I asked my two buddies like, hey, what would you guys do if I was bi? Instantly took off running to class, got to the class before I could get there, and told everybody that I was gay. And then just from then on, it was on.
Yeah, it was just attached to you. It's basically a scarlet letter at that point, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, that teenagers will be teenagers, right? I mean, at that point, I mean...
It was rough for like a year, and then I got over it.
Yeah, but you were getting so much pussy and ass anyway. I mean, that helps. That helps a lot.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't care. Call me a faggot. I fucked your girl last night,
call me a fucking loser. Yeah.
It's all good.
Oh, my God, man. Dude, that's like legendary status. I mean, you talking about like, living a good life as the best revenge. Yeah, man. I mean, that is like the clearest example I can think of.
Oh, the football player girlfriends were the best.
Oh, my God, man. I was like, my mind is so blown by it, not just because of the numbers, because of the circumstances too, right? Like you were getting picked on and getting bullied. Here you got you're fucking the football players' girlfriends, and it's just, but man, I'm at a loss for words.
It's a very strange existence.
Yeah, because it's so unexpected. Those kind of numbers, and then like I said, the circumstances you had to deal with. It really defies all odds. They should make a Disney movie about you, right? Like defying all odds.
It's like Ben Wilder fucking high school edition,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So it seems like it didn't affect your confidence at all then.
No, I think it sucked for like maybe a year. And then, I just didn't, I don't know.
You just started smashing like crazy and your confidence started coming back.
And like, I had a solid group of like a few really good friends. And like, then I had like ancillary friends that were kind of shitty, like fake friends that would make fun of me too, but like would like to do drugs with me, But I don't know. I just stopped giving a fuck. Like, really didn't care. And then when I realized I was bi, I was just like, oh, okay. Like, maybe I am a faggot. Like, okay, cool.
When
like,
did you realize that?
I think sophomore years when I started to kind of like have the ideas, and then I think junior years when I finally like tried it out.
How hard was that
cool.
to like that very first guy then? Because I feel like in high school, there's not going to be a lot of guys who are going to be open about it.
No, I just use Grindr and just fuck older dudes.
Oh man, that's right. Because I never got to fuck with these apps, so
I barely got to either. I think Grindr was the only like
the one that was out. Yeah,
app,
yeah.
Which is it's not even a dating app.
That's a hookup app.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, supposedly Tinder's the same thing.
Yeah, it's supposed to be,
so
right?
Like I wouldn't know. I never got to fuck with any of these things. I'm so curious about it. It's like it's kind of like speed dating. I'd be like down to try just for the experience. Obviously, I mean, I'm not gonna do anything because I'm married, but I never got to fuck with these things.
It sounds
seem like a lot. Really, it sounds like fun to me, man. Yeah,
it doesn't interest me. Like whenever my friends talk about it, I'm like, this sounds like it sucks.
Really, they did not have good experiences with it.
It's just, and even when they do, it's like,
really?
Yeah, I'd so much. I always liked the in-person pickup or like the meeting somebody and like, can I do this?
Oh, you're old school.
Yeah, that's the fun part.
Well, that's how we had to do it. There was no other choice. I guess for me, there's a novelty that there's other ways to do it now, and I'm always kind of like a curious George in that way. It's like there's a new way to do it, or there's some new tech to do it. I was like, I want to try that.
We're always interested in the things we miss out on.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because like the old school way that you're talking about, that's all I did. I mean, that was your only choice. And that was for me. There's definitely a learning curve and for me the learning curve was really more so what you talk about is just not giving a fuck more than anything. It's not about what to say, what not to say. It's just really just not giving a fuck and just trusting that there's something in here that's going to come out and it's going to be good, it's going to work. And if it doesn't work, oh well, fuck it.
If I have a son, I'm going to teach him that just don't fuck everybody else. Who cares? Like you, enjoy being you, and just put that out. And people, because people are drawn to that. There's so much fakeness. There's so much like people putting on airs out there. When a truly genuine person steps in the room, it's like, oh shit, that guy.
So I bet that helps with your stand-up a lot, right? Terms of just being able to navigate the stand-up community and the grind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's and like I don't care about bombing. Like it sucks to bomb because it's like I didn't do my job, but I don't get emotionally attached to it. And yeah, I'm not here to make friends. Like I love you guys and I love hanging out with comics and I love having friends, but that's not what I'm here for. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to be funny. That's it. You know, all the other shit is extra.
Yeah, you know, that's interesting that you have that perspective already at a younger age. Because a lot of people don't realize that. And then I'm guessing you've been through a whole lot in your life.
Yeah, I think I've lived a few lifetimes already.
Yeah, it's for you to have that perspective at your age already. Because you're right, that is what it's about. Right? Because I think, like, because I tell people I don't really care when I bomb, but I think when I say that, it gives people the wrong impression. I think you said it better. Yeah, bombing does suck. You feel it, but you just don't let yourself get attached to that feeling. You got to just move forward and move on.
I relate everything to skating. It's just like missing a kickflip. Like I missed that kickflip. That sucked. Maybe I got hurt, but I'm still going to try to do a kickflip again. You know what I mean? And maybe I'll land a kickflip.
That really. I mean, I guess skating is like going through that. It's probably just good for life in general, then, because you experience so much failure.
I think skating is probably one of the best life coaches there is. Like one of the best hobbies, sports, things you can do, just to make yourself a fully formed person. You know,
as a skater, how do you feel about those rollerbladers, those inline skaters doing tricks? Because I feel like, come on, that shit's attached to your feet.
Yeah, it's terrifying. I've tried it, like, because my friend does it, and I've put him on, and it's so scary. Like, I give him respect, props, but also get out of my skate park and stop waxing my ledges.
Yeah, because I feel like skating is really a different level, and then you got the bikers, the BMX bikers, it's another level. Like when the shit's attached to your feet, the level of difficulty is not going to be as high as skating and the bikers.
Agree.
Yeah,
I think it's scarier too. I think there's a level of like scarierness to it because it is you can't bail out. There's no getting it away from you.
That's a good point. Yeah. I mean, obviously,
it's full commitment.
I don't do any of these things. So obviously, take what I say with a grain of salt. I suck at all of them. I used to do a lot of rollerblading, but it was really more for street hockey and just going around downtowns. It's just for fun. But I was never doing any tricks.
This is the 90s, huh?
Anything? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This is when they first came out. Yeah, that's how old I was.
I figured. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
I was like, you're not doing this in the 2000s.
Yeah, no,
it's not like 2010 and Mike's just fucking down the street with your hoodie around your waist.
But they were just called rollerblades because that was the only brand that came out at first.
I had a pair of rollerblades back in the day.
What's crazy is I remember they were hot for a minute there, and then the prices went really down because no one was fucking with them anymore. Yeah. And then they started going back up.
They've come back too.
Yeah, they've really come back.
They've changed the style, and now they have they look way different. They look almost like a snowboard boot now, and they have two little wheels, and it's coming back, but I don't think it's ever going to be like what it was in the 90s. Where
so how far did you want to take the skateboarding thing? Were you going to try to get into X Games and all that?
I wanted to. When I was a kid, I was like, I want to be pro. I want to get sponsored. And I think even a few years ago, I was still I could maybe get sponsored eventually. Especially I'm friends with the owner of the skate shop, and but I just accept I'm not that good. I'm good at skating. I can do tricks. I can do things I want to do on the board, but I'm not this crazy level. I'm not super talented at it. So I just at one point accepted that's not in my cards. That's not where I'm going with this. It's just purely because I really love doing it.
Dude, that's just a very mature thing to be that self-aware that I love doing this thing. I really enjoy it, but am I exceptional at it?
Yeah,
where I can become a pro. And for you to have that awareness,
it's hard to be delusional like that because when you're around people that do have that are just inherently talented and are crazy good at it, it's undeniable. You can't sit there and be like, I'm like that. No, you're fucking not, dude. It's just so in your face with skating. It's the same with stand up. You can tell yourself you're funny, and then Jose goes on and you're like, I'm not that funny yet,
It's really sounding like skating is a great, learning tool for kids growing up. Man.
It is. I think it's the best thing you could do.
Yeah, if I ever have a kid, I think I might try to get him to skating or something. It's good to have something difficult, right?
Yes.
At an early age.
Yeah, having something hard, something that's hard to do, but has a low threshold for entry.
Yeah.
Like it's easy to get into, but it's hard to get good at it.
So you still skate to this day?
Oh yeah, I skate all the time.
You still hit the parks, or you just go around your neighborhood for
No,
fun?
I'm a park dude. I like skating in the parks and mostly like ledges and half pipes. It's my shit.
God damn, that shit is so impressive, man. I've always wanted to be able to do, but obviously, if I didn't stick with it, like I said, I couldn't learn the ollie. Obviously, I just didn't have the mentality for it. I just basketball was my thing, really. That's the one thing that I stuck to when I was younger.
That's fun.
Obviously, I'm Filipino, so I was like, fucking.
You're like, I'm not going to the NBA with this height.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is I remember
league or two.
when I was watching, the Michael Jordan, when I first started playing basketball, like in early '90s, I didn't realize they were that tall.
Yeah,
because you can't tell watching them on TV that they're that tall.
No.
And I remember when my older brother finally told me how tall they were, it just broke my heart.
Held his hand up. He's like, this is his head.
Because I knew there's no way I'm going to grow up to be that tall. Even at a young age, I knew, the limit of Asian genetics, right? It's like...
I hated in school, they'd always tell you, eat your vegetables, drink your milk, grow to be big and tall. They never were like, look at your parents, average it out, because if they had told me that, I would have stopped dreaming about being 6 foot and been like, maybe 5'6", please.
Yeah, was that a dream for you too, being 6 foot?
Yeah, I wanted to be tall for sure.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to be at least 6'3", because that's like a legit point guard height,
Okay.
But the thing is, like, nutrition does help because, like me and my brothers were all taller than our parents. Most of us grew up here in the States.
For sure.
So obviously the nutrition has something to do with it.
Are you guys first generation here?
No, we're well, yes, but none of us were born here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were all born in the Philippines, but like, I moved over here when I was 6. So basically, all my nutrition, my growing years was here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just. Nutrition will make a difference, but genetics will definitely cap it.
Yeah, for sure.
I thought I was going to be over 6 feet tall because I was this tall when I was 15 years old.
Oh, jeez, you shot up quick.
Yeah, I shot up quick, and I was playing ball, so I was like, all right, looks like I'm on track at least for college, right?
Yeah.
And everyone just kept on growing, and I just stayed right here.
Where you guys going?
Yeah, so no, I had to accept that as a teenager. It's like, okay, the basketball thing. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. Because like when you did skating, I was good, but at my height, I'd have to be like a 1 in 10 million talent.
Yeah, you'd have to be killing it on jumpers.
Yeah, and I definitely wasn't 1 in 10 million. I was maybe like 1 in 10,000 at most. It's just like where I could go to like any park and play a pickup game, and I'd either do well or maybe even dominate, but. You'd have to be dominating at every single place.
You could probably go to Korea and kill it over there. There aren't many tall Koreans.
You know what the average height is in Korea for guys now? 6 feet tall.
Is it seriously?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
They're tall, dude. It's like their nutrition has really pushed it up over the years.
More not because they're first world now, right? Like South Korea.
Yes, yeah.
It's a first world country.
Yeah, exactly. As the countries
as
do
they
better.
develop more, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
the nutrition's better. Even like Japan, Japanese people are notorious for even being shorter than Filipinos, right?
Mm-hmm.
The average height of a male over there is now 5'10".
What?
Yeah, just because of nutrition's improving over the years and years. So,
that's crazy.
But I don't know if it's gonna get to 6'6". Like I said, genetics will cap you.
Yeah.
I mean, there are freaks of nature, but
I mean, wasn't Yao Ming was Chinese, right? And he's
he's 7 something. No, he's 7. He was crazy. He's 7'7".
No way.
But he's also kind of like a science experiment because they took the tallest Chinese guy and the tallest Chinese woman and made them, be together and make a child.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because the government's really involved in terms of their athletics over there and everything, right?
In terms of all things.
All things, yeah. Like they just say there is no Chinese company that's not connected to Chinese intelligence. And now that I'm saying this out loud and I'm gonna post this, they're gonna start spying on me. But it's okay. They're already spying on us.
On all of us, bro.
Like, are you on TikTok?
Fuck no. And my lady is, and I hate it.
Yeah,
Please get off of that thing.
Yeah, that's why I don't fuck with it too. I know, like. I mean, I don't know if you heard that when Joe Rogan read the
Yes, the privacy policy or whatever.
it's
How much
fucking
information they
nuts.
can take from you,
It's fucking nuts.
dude. They could take, like, if I have TikTok and you don't have TikTok and we're close to each other, they can take your information. It's like, what the fuck?
It's like your keystrokes. They have access to your microphone.
Dude.
It's like
Bananas. Any device that is connected to your device, so like your computer, even if it doesn't have TikTok, just because you have it on your phone, they can get in your computer. Yeah.
And did you show your lady that video when he was reading?
No, because she doesn't give a fuck. She
Yeah.
wouldn't care. She's like, I don't care. What are they going to take from me? I'm like, it's not that. It's just the principle.
Dude, but if they're taking your keystrokes, those are your passwords right there already, right? It's like for me, that would be enough just by itself.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I guess social media just has that kind of hook on people. Huh? I was talking with Ryan about this.
Especially the quicker ones, you know? Like,
Well, that's what TikTok's supposed to be, right? They say they're really good at that and getting you hooked. You don't fuck with it at all.
no.
And neither do I. I don't have it on my phone.
If I
don't have
see
an
a
account.
TikTok, it's because it's on Instagram. you
Yeah,
know?
pretty much, right? So you're never going to be on it then?
No, I don't plan on it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I see some of the homies that are on it and they post their comedy and they're like, look, I got like 50,000 views on this. I'm like, but is that real though? Does that translate to anything? Is that just there? Can you build off it? Like, it just seems so useless, you know?
You know what? I think that's a good thing to point out is, does it translate to anything? Because at the end of the day, the reason you want those views is you want to be able to sell tickets as a comic, right? That's a very good point you make. I don't know how many people really think about it in that way.
And does TikTok even allow you to see your analytics, like where the views
I don't
coming
know.
from?
I've never
Like,
used it.
I don't I don't know. I know Instagram you can, YouTube you can look at what part of the country people are watching you in, what country, like how old they are. You can see all the analytics. I don't think you can even do that on TikTok. I think it's just, here's 100,000 views. It's like, cool.
I know they say it's pretty easy because like anytime like one of these social media platforms, any platform is brand new, it's definitely easier to get the, those 100,000 views and 100,000. So it's, I think, for a lot of comics, probably just any creative person or content creator, that's where TikTok becomes really lucrative, right? Because I think these days, man, growing on Instagram, going on YouTube is very difficult. It's not like it was in the early days.
Oh,
where
Instagram's like the hardest to blow up on.
Yeah, but that's the one I fuck with the most. So I feel
Me
like,
too, yeah.
because like I suck at networking, man. Like that's been my Achilles heel my whole life. And for me, Instagram is kind of an organic way for me to keep in touch with people.
Yeah.
Like I could just follow you and then, I'll just like a pic every now and then or comment every now and then.
Exactly.
And now we're still on each other's radars, right? And it's organic for me because yeah, I do like the fucking pic and so it's been good for me that way. And then, and whereas before, like, how are you with networking?
I'm
I'm gonna say you're. I mean, considering your high school days, you're probably pretty damn good, dude.
No, I could be better. Like, I don't know. I don't post as much as I should. I don't it's just for me to keep up on skating and comedy, and that's really it. I do try to, I'm trying to get better at it, promoting and like all that stuff. But I think just at the point I'm at right now in comedy, like it's how new I am. I'm not even thinking about that. I'm just trying to get funny. And
Good
once I'm
for
funny,
you,
then
man.
I'll worry about the other stuff.
How will you know when you're funny?
That's a good question, right? I don't know. I guess the more I get booked, like the more people that want to have me on their shows, the more. I mean, immediately you can tell from the crowd, right? So the more laughter, the more the laugh fills the room. Like just as I get better, I guess. I think for me right now, the cool thing is like I'm starting to get booked on a bunch of stuff, and like Jimmy's got me for 2 shows this month. I
Jimmy
got like
Minis.
2 shows next month. Some paid ones. Like people are starting to like my shit and want me to come do their shows. So that's a little bit of vindication. And then just the crowd. Like if I can crush it, then I'm like, okay, I'm getting funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I think the crowd has more to do with it for me than anything else. Because in terms of bookings, it's not necessarily based on funny. It's based on who you know. It's based on, are you a good balance for the other comics on the show, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of other factors there other than just being funny. So that's why I guess for me, like, the crowd will really determine like how consistent am I where I can get 80%, 90% of the crowd like
Yes.
every time. That's more where I'm judging it at. But I think there's definitely some motherfuckers out there who aren't funny in my opinion. I was about to say we're all funny, but like I could say like with you, with me, like you've gotten laughs already at this point, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't think if it was like with skateboarding where it took you a year to learn how to ollie. If it took you a year to get one laugh, do you think you'd still be doing it?
Fuck no.
No, you gotta have some like
Get
some
outta
sign
here.
before that, right? That okay, I can get a laugh here.
I think the second show I ever did is when I was like, okay, yeah, I can do this. I did Tommy T's for the first mic I ever did, and then
That's a good one to do because there's people there.
it's fun.
Yeah.
And
It's not just comics,
No, yeah, there's actual people.
Yeah.
But like that one, I was my first time. I was so nervous. I did 5 minutes worth of material in like 2.5 minutes. Just fucking no pauses. Just did it.
Oh, you definitely take your time now, man.
Yeah. I think that's kind of my style. Is just fucking loose. Like, all right, let's just sit here for a little while. But then I went and did Sacramento Comedy Spot, and there was like 30, 40 people in the audience there, and like I didn't like murder it, but I did really well. And I like driving home from that, I was like, yeah, I can do this.
Yeah, because I feel like, within the first, I don't know, let's say to be safe, within the first 10 times you go up, you should have gotten laughs at some point,
Oh,
right?
fucking, I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a bad sign.
Yeah, it's like to me, if I didn't get any laughs by like the 10th time, I would really have to look at myself and like, maybe it's not for me. Because man, there's some people out there. Wow, this is really becoming just a shit talking.
I love it. I love
episode,
it, dude. Burn bridges. Fuck them all.
No, I'm never gonna name
Talking
any.
about you, PJ. No.
To be fair, he's really early at this point, right? Because that is the thing, right? It's hard to judge people on open mics. Because one, it's people who are really early figuring out, and two, people are trying out. We're trying to figure out our rougher
voices,
bits. Yeah. And we're just trying to figure out these bits that we want to work on. So you can't really judge a person based on an open mic, right?
Yeah.
But if you see them enough times of an open mic, you start to get an idea. It's like, you see.
I like PJ. I like his energy.
Yeah,
His
I do
jokes aren't
too.
there yet, but they will be.
No, PJ's my boy, and I understand he's a lot. He's a lot to deal with for sure,
Yeah.
but. Well, you know what? Like you said, I like his energy. He is positive, and I tend to drift towards the people who are either on the older side or a little bit more mature.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know, we kind of all have very similar perspectives, or I can just talk to them easier, and just because I'm 41, right? It is. I've been through a lot of shit too, and my perspective's a little bit different. You kind of just see the balance and things. You don't let the bullshit get to you.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas, if I'm talking to someone who's a bit on the younger side and I'm trying to kind of give them that perspective, hey, this bullshit, it doesn't fucking matter, man. Just don't even worry about it. Yeah, it
social
sucks.
drama and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
and
yeah,
like, I hope
yeah.
they like me. And like, do you
Yeah.
like you though? Like,
Yeah. I know, like others, we'll all get salty, but don't fucking dwell on it.
Yeah.
Just fucking move forward, and this shit don't penetrate. So after a while, when someone's just kind of venting about their bitterness about the comedy scene, this shit gets fucking exhausting.
Yeah, I can't stand when people are like blaming the scene or blame like comedy, and it's like, no, you just suck, dude. Like you or like you're just in a bad spot now, or like it's not comedy. It's not that. It's where you're at or what you're doing or what it's your mindset.
Yeah.
Like, oh, the crowd sucked, maybe, but also maybe that joke sucked. Like,
Have you heard people say the crowd sucked and
Oh
blame it
yeah,
on the
that's
crowd?
the biggest cop out.
Yeah.
It's so lame. Like,
Yeah.
oh, the crowd tonight sucks. It's like, really? Because I bet Jose or I bet fucking Nicole or I bet some of these other guys come in here and just light it on fire.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There definitely, crowds do vary. But, and there are times where like the crowd just isn't there, but there's nothing to gain by blaming it on them.
Yeah.
You know,
No.
there's just nothing to gain for you.
It's not moving
You're not going to
forward.
become a better comic by, but you know, you could acknowledge the reality. Yeah, the crowds are different. Sometimes they're really engaged and really responsive.
Yeah.
Other times they're not.
Yeah, like
But
every
you-
other week at Alameda.
Yeah, every time I show up, basically, right?
Dude, Alameda Comedy Club. I love the club. I love Patrick, but
Uh-huh.
man, it's like every other time I go there, it's like, hey, are you guys alive? Like, the fuck?
You know, I mean, the last time I did it was the competition. Obviously, that's different. You know, everyone came out.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, Alameda Comedy Club stopped becoming a regular thing for me once I started being able to like get on like shows at other places. Yeah, I don't know, like that mic just kind of stopped being a priority, and I honestly just forgot about it. Well, because it's hard to get on if you don't have a bringer. It
It's
really
very
is,
hard.
right? And then if you're willing to like buy a drink or two, it's great, but it's not guaranteed to get on. But even then, you're spending good money.
Oh, yeah.
So like it just kind of like fell on my priority list in terms of places to try to get on. So I don't. But I remember when I was first starting out, it was like number one for me.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's a club, and it's a bringer
club.
show,
That
so
was the
people,
big thing, right?
that's a big thing. I mean, since it's a bringer show, at least there's going to be some non-comics in the audience. But once you start getting lucky enough to be on other shows, like you have other avenues to do 10 minutes, and there's
Yeah.
actually more people here than there would be on an open mic night at Alameda Comedy Club.
That's the best. I love doing like 15, 20s now. It's so fun to just like, now we can just chill out. I'm going to do this set. I'm not going to be worried about, I got to get all these jokes out. I'm just going to fucking enjoy this time now.
So
you
it's
know?
been hit or miss over at Alameda, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's and it's like partially like it's definitely the I think it's partially the vibe of the club, because it's like it's kind of hidden. It's I don't know. It's ineffable.
There, that's a good word, man. I like that word.
Yeah, I was just watching How I Met Your Mother, and they were using that. in
You fuck
one of
with
the
that show?
episodes. Oh, I fucking love that. I think this is my like 18th time watching.
Really?
it.
I mean, to be fair, I think I've only seen one episode. It was decent. The one I can't stand is The Big Bang Theory.
Oh yeah, fuck that.
I don't know how.
Uh-uh.
I don't know why that's such a big hit. I don't.
It's too like white bread watered down. Like it's like a cheese sandwich. It's like, where's the meat? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't like that. Like Two Broke Girls, like those CBS shows, right?
Yeah.
But they're big. They were big fucking hits, and I didn't get it.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know if it's me just being an old curmudgeon.
No, I think it's because most of the population's.
population.
I think it's because most of the population is like idiots, and not just idiots, but like they just want something easy to consume because like people work in like long 40-hour like long days or dealing with all this other stuff, so they want their TV or their content to just be as easily digestible as possible. I think that's why they get so big like that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but I don't know. Honestly, it's been so long since I watched any TV. I'm not trying to sound elitist. It's just I don't have cable TV.
Yeah, I don't have cable either.
Yeah,
I got
just watch things
Netflix.
on
I
the
got
internet.
Hulu.
Yeah, I don't even have I've never had my own Netflix account. It's always my brother's. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever had my own account of any of these streaming services. Honestly, it's a straight up Filipino status. I always use it someone else's. Do you have your own Netflix account?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
wow! Look at you, you're a grown man.
I got my own Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus. I got a kid. I gotta have all the stuff.
Damn, dude, that adds up, man. That's
Yeah, it does.
money, dude. It's like, that's even more expensive than cable, honestly, at that point.
Yeah, but me and my lady split it. Like some of them are hers, some of them are mine.
Are you married or is she your girlfriend?
No, we're engaged. We've been engaged for like years. But
Really?
yeah, we're getting married is not really like in our priority list. We're not.
So why
too-
get engaged?
because like I'm the like romantic dude. I'm like I want the ring. I want to do the whole thing. But and then just as we're getting older and like with the kids, we're like it's not really on our minds. We're just like and we've been together for 12 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's like
Wow.
it'll
So
happen. when it
since, like, how old are you?
happens. I'm 27.
Wow. Yeah, that's right. You said that. So since you were 15 years old. Wow. Holy crap.
Yeah, I did a lot of cheating on her.
And she knows.
Oh yeah, she knows
And she's still with you. Why is that?
because she's the best. That's why. I don't know, man.
That's
She's awesome.
amazing that she would stick with you, especially at like at that age too.
I think she she fell in love with me, right? And then she saw my like where I came from, like my upbringing and like how I was raised and stuff, and she's like, "Oh, I have to fix him." Like I was like a was like a rundown old car with shitty parts, but like a great skeleton, you know. And she just needed to start swapping parts and getting me back in running order. It's like my dad told me when I was younger, like, fuck everything that moves until you're married. You know, it's like you don't tell a young kid that because that's going in here and that's gonna be the motto. Like, you know, I'm not fucking up. I'm not married.
I feel like instinctually that's what every guy thinks, though, right? Just,
Yeah.
I don't know, this just seems to be in our genes, honestly.
Well, we're supposed to propagate the species, and they're supposed to select those.
I know it sounds like I'm trying to make excuses, ladies, but I'm telling you, this is really just the experience for guys, right? It's literally in our bones. You know, it's even if no one ever told us, you
Our
just
boners.
Yeah, exactly. Big. There you go. You just got a new bit out of it. Open with that. That's killer.
Fucking God, I'm a hack.
But you know what I like is I like when like good comics do like a hacky joke on purpose and they just acknowledge it. Oh,
Yeah.
You just have fun with it. It's like, okay, that's
I love
fun.
it, yeah.
At least you're doing it.
We're
You know.
playing. That's
Yeah.
all we're doing. We're just
Yeah,
playing.
but it literally is in our DNA. You know, that's how we're built, ladies. So I'm not making an excuse. Look, I've been with my wife for 16 years.
Yeah.
All right, I've never cheated on her. But going back,
That deserves an applause.
yeah, I know. But you know, because for me, I just found the best way to do it. I'm not trying to say like I'm perfect. Of course, you know, I get tempted. And the thing is, what people don't realize is just because you're married or like you're in a long-term relationship, it doesn't mean you stop being compatible with other people.
Yeah.
No, sometimes you will meet someone and there is that chemistry there. You just have to make the smart choice. So don't let yourself be in a situation where something can happen.
Yeah.
All right, I just won't let myself be alone with this person.
Exactly right.
You know,
I'm not going to get drunk around them.
Yeah,
Oops,
exactly,
It's 12.
yeah.
I'm going home.
Yeah,
Like, you
so
know.
it's really just more about that. That's not that. You know, well, my wife is really gonna love this podcast. Yeah.
I'm telling my lady, she's like, should I listen to the stuff you do? I'm like, please don't. For the love of God. Like, I'm trying
Just-
to keep you around. Don't listen.
Yeah, basically, say, I want to fuck other girls, but I don't.
Oh my God.
Oh my god! You know the funny thing is like what you did in your high school days. I did more so in my 20s. All right, and when I started dating my wife, I felt like I was at a point where, all right, I got all that out of my system. You know, I'm ready for something serious. And I would say about 2.5 years into my relationship with her, like all those same like urges started popping back up again, and that's when I realized, oh, you know what? This is always just going to be a part of who I am. You know,
Yeah.
it's just now I just value this more. I realize that for me, at least, the trade-off is worth it.
Yeah.
Having the stable relationship versus that. But those urges will always be there. And it's kind of like a roller coaster, right? Sometimes it's riding really high, but you just gotta like, just be chill. It'll go
yeah.
back down.
For me, before my kid was born, the worst thing I could ever think of for me would be to lose my lady, because she's like my whole world. I like my best friend, like everything, you know. And if she were to like leave me, I don't know how I would manage that. I don't know, like her with another dude, or I could not comprehend what life would be like that. And that's my like driving factor of like, don't fuck this up, you know.
Did you guys ever go through a period where you were broken up for a while?
Yeah, not like long term, but like we'd broken up, I don't know, 6 or 8 times like throughout like high school, and like I think the last time we were like 20,
Yeah.
maybe.
What's
Like,
the longest you guys were broken up?
maybe a month.
Okay.
And that one was we had like most of the time when we broke up it was because I fucked up, but the one time we just kind of weren't spending time with each other. We weren't really like taking care of the relationship, and we both just kind of started to drift apart, and we both like just agreed like maybe we just need to call this quits. Like we can be friends, but like maybe this just isn't in our cards anymore. And I like she was just doing her thing and not like really hooking up with any other dudes or anything, but just kind of doing her thing, getting over it. I was doing what I do to get over it, which is bang out chicks and have a good time. And I like just one day I was like sitting at home. I think it had been like 3 weeks, and I'm like, what did I do? Like what? No, what did I do? Oh my God. And I had that just realization of like, I cannot let her go. Like I cannot let her escape. This is no. And I spent like a whole week just like showing up to her work with flowers, like balloons, like everything. I pulled everything out of the playbook and and like won her back, and then took her to Capitola, and we stayed in this like beautiful suite by the ocean and everything. And I proposed to her because I was like, I'm never letting you go.
Oh, so she's been locked up for a while then.
Yeah.
Wow. And then I'm assuming at that point you weren't cheating on her anymore.
That was the
That was the turnaround moment. So what made you realize that? Like, what happened that made you like freak out and
just
realize
living life without her. Like I can't. I can't be alone. Like I can be alone, but like I can't not have her. She's just like, she is my person. It's I can't describe it or anything. It's really like love. It's she's my best friend. She's my literal other half. Like I can't move through this world unless she's like here with me.
It really amazes me that she's been willing to forgive you for all the shit you did, dude.
I'm so lucky, man. Like I really am. It was hard work. There's a lot of, especially on my side, a lot of hard
I'm sure
work.
you had to rebuild that trust. I mean, you had to change your patterns more than anything, though.
I had to become a completely different person, basically, and like not in like a who I am kind of way, but like I had to rebuild. I had to undo all the shit my dad did. Like, you know what I mean? I had to rewrite my upbringing and like change how I thought and like I turned myself into the guy that she deserved to be with instead of like just who I was at that point.
I mean, the fact that you realize that at such a young age, man. I mean, I think that, like I said, you seem to be a person that's just very self-aware. Which is...
I think it's just from like my childhood and then like going through drug addiction young and coming out of that and getting sober, and like that, I think that's where I got the most perspective from, was like getting over that and being like, oh shit, I need to what happened between you and your dad? Because you mentioned your dad a few times now. Like, seems like he really had like, an effect on the kind of person you were at a young age and why you were going down that road. Like, he just wasn't a good dad. Like, he's a very angry, self-centered man, and yeah, it just wasn't a peachy upbringing.
Do you have a relationship with him still to this day?
Kinda.
Yeah.
Him and my mom are still married and everything, and like my kid's at their house right now. But like we barely talk. There's it's a little strained.
Okay.
But I'm not mad at him. Like I don't have any resentment towards him. I let that go a while ago. I just he affects me in a way I don't like, and so I just kind of keep myself away from it. I don't like who I am around him, so I just keep it at arm's length.
Again, this is just very self-aware, man. There's a maturity that really comes through. You and Ryan, I swear, you guys have your shit together more than anyone I've had on this podcast. Because you guys are both in this, like, I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but just very self-aware of how you grew up, the patterns that's created in your mind, which ones are healthy, which ones are not, and then how to manage the unhealthy ones, right? Because I firmly believe, like, our unhealthy patterns, our unhealthy behaviors, they never truly go away. Yeah, it's just always going to be there.
Yeah.
You just have
to put them in a little box, you lock it up, and then you hide it in the back of your head.
Or you just have to be aware when you're going to go down that road and you have to see it coming. Like, I see myself, I'm going to make this choice. I know where this is going to lead. I better go.
That's where getting sober from drugs helped, because it's like, if you can see that pattern coming, then you can recognize the other patterns.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, oh, this is what I did that led me down to drugs, and then it's like, oh, this is what I did that makes me cheat on my lady. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it gives you that ability to be like, oh, there's the bad thoughts.
So what would make you cheat on your lady? I'm sure a lot of women listening to this would want to know what makes a guy cheat.
Man, just wanting to fuck. Like, just
that's pretty much what I thought.
Not thinking about the consequences, like not caring, not even not caring, just legitimately not thinking about what happens if I get caught. You just don't even think about that. You're just like, she's hot, I want to fuck. Oh, speaking of which,
is that your lady right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what's always come down to me. I think is like the men's like built-in drive for that, and another factor of it was also just opportunity. If it's right there in front of you.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest one. It's the ease of, like, if it's right there, then it's the easiest to like, okay, yeah.
I mean, I think that's why I don't know, who Greg Fitzsimmons is?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. He talks about all the time how he's never cheated on his wife this whole time when he used to stand up, and for a headliner like him that's going all over the country, those opportunities are right there.
For sure.
And he says that's why reason he doesn't hang. He'll just go back to his hotel room because he knows where that's going to go if he sticks around. I mean, that's again there where the urge is there, but you just got to make the smart choice, right? Because
I try not to. I try not to like. It's like sounds sexist, but I try not to have female friends because I don't trust that Michael's totally gone. I have one female like best friend, and it's my lady's best friend too, and her name's Rochelle, and she's like the best. But other than her, like I'm like, nah, I'm cool. Like I don't need female friends. I don't need the. I don't need the temptation. I'm cool.
And plus, it was just not that automatic for you back in high school. Though you would go in through the back door, like you said, as a friend. That's pretty impressive, man. As like you were in the friend zone, but you weren't.
Yeah, I think I might be one of the very few men on this planet that know how to move my way through the friend zone.
Okay,
properly.
So what would you tell someone who's in high school then, or someone who's in college who's stuck in that friend zone and they want to get out of that? What kind of advice could you give them?
Let's go after it, man. Just fucking hunt it down. Like, come at it like, listen, you're cool, you're my friend, but like, yo, I feel like this. I'm trying to like, just go at it. Just get after it, man. That's the one. Like, everybody that gets stuck in the friend zone is because they're a pussy and they won't take those steps or be aggressive with it. And I don't mean aggressive like hold her down and fucking, you know what I mean? But
assertive.
Assertive. There you go. But yeah, just be assertive, be confident, and if it's not gonna go that way, don't lie to yourself and be like, I can make it go that way. Just get out. Just peace.
It's funny you said that because I was trying to tell my I think he's 13, maybe 14-year-old nephew. I was trying to give him some advice. So he's asking how to get girls. Especially, I told him like at his age, or actually any age, I think, just tell the girl you like her.
Yeah.
I promise you, like your chances are gonna be so much higher if you just say it with confidence. You don't have to be like super smooth, and I told him it's literally that simple. And of course, my cousins and who are like my age just say, no, it's not. That's not true. It's absolutely fucking true. Especially at that age.
Oh yeah,
you can attest, right? That's when that's
the number one.
Yeah, that's the number thing.
Like that.
Yeah, no, just being honest about it, not being afraid to be honest about it, right?
Not being scared of rejection is like the biggest one.
That's a hard pill to swallow for
especially for young men.
Yeah,
especially for young men with very fragile egos and like you're trying to figure out who you are. Being able to accept like, okay, she just doesn't like me is very difficult.
I think even for adults, I think rejection in general is always, it's a hard thing to swallow. I would put myself in that category. I definitely don't like it. I just learned to accept that it's a part of life. Especially it's a part of anytime you're pursuing anything creative, rejection is just built in.
Yeah,
that's just part of it.
For sure.
Right, but I feel like that's something like even adults have a hard time dealing with rejection, and I mean that's why people don't want to reach out and try to get booked on shows, right? They want to wait until people come to them. You don't want to ask. You don't want to be a person that asks, but
that's how you stay in your hometown and never go anywhere.
Yeah, exactly, right? But I feel like again that's where the skating really came in handy for you because you faced failure so many, like on a consistent basis you're failing. Right,
and not even just like a little failure, like getting hurt, slapping the ground with your body, and
what's the worst?
I'm gonna do that again.
Hurt?
Huh?
What's the worst injury you've had from skating?
It's not even from skating. Like skating, I've never really gotten that hurt. Like twisted ankles, cuts, things like that. My elbows are never gonna look normal again. Like there's always gonna be these like weird bumps.
I don't see anything wrong with your elbow.
You see that bump right there? That's some of my joint fluid calcified on top of my bone. So technically it's harder, so I could like smash it with it. But no, the worst injury I ever got was when I tried out BMXing for a little while.
Oh.
I was going over this spine, and I was like maybe 8 feet in the air, and my tire hit the top of the spine, and I went over the bars straight to my face and blasted my face open. Had to get stitches. Like I had the worst headache I've ever had in my life. Like I was laying in bed with like pillows over my face. Like, but fucking headphones on with nothing playing just to like cancel out noise and just like sobbing because it hurt so bad.
Holy
It
shit.
felt like there was like somebody had jacks pressed against my skull and we're just like trying to crank it out until it popped.
Damn.
Yeah, that sucked.
Was that the last time you did BMX? Or?
Yes, I sold my bike very
It's like
quickly.
if you went
after
back to it after that, my God,
Nah.
man.
I was like, and I blew out my MCL like twice, but BMXing like in the matter of a few months, blew out one and then blew out the
It's
other.
not a good sign.
No, I was like, I don't think I am a BMX rider. I think I'm gonna go back to this 4 wheels. These 2 wheels are trying to kill me.
God damn, you really, I mean, you really have been through a lot, both physically and, psychologically. So what's going on with your lady there?
Oh, she's just wondering where our kid is. I'm like, I told you yesterday, I'm doing a podcast.
She get along with your family?
Yeah, she, especially like my mom and my sister. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How about you get along good with your dad?
Yeah, my dad loves her. Like
Okay.
he even before like even in like high school, he's like, this is my future ex-daughter-in-law.
Oh, that's funny. I mean,
Yeah, he's got
that's a good burn right there. Oh, no, I mean, that's good they get along because that is a big thing. When you get married, I mean, people say that you have to realize that you're not just marrying your wife; you're marrying her family too. And that doesn't really sink in until you really get married. You have to, and it becomes a reality. And it's like, that's something. Because I'm going to be spending a lot more time in the Philippines now with my wife's family. And I'm going to be taking off at the end of the month. And when I took off previously in February, spent 3 months there. That was the first time I really spent that much time with my wife's family. And yeah, it was kind of a shock to the system. Don't get me wrong, they're super sweet, super nice, but not even though I grew up in the Philippines till I was 6, I spent 7 years there during my 20s. Culturally speaking, I'm really more American than I am Filipino.
Yeah.
Right. So not only is there a cultural gap there, with them being Filipino, but they're not city Filipinos either. They're
outskirts
they're
Filipinos.
outskirts, like kind of
Gotcha.
like farm
Oh,
land,
shit.
So it's like it's even more of a
They're
gap.
dirt road Asians.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of learning how to really just be around them kind of thing, and really adjusting my expectations and my culture. Like to be perfectly honest, I can't be myself fully around them.
You
I
gotta
can't let
kinda
my mouth fly.
Dial it back.
Yeah, I really have to dial it back, which is it's an interesting thing because I feel like life shouldn't be about having to hold back who you are. But the reality is
Sometimes, man.
yeah, it's just not gonna fly. With my in-laws, I can't just let my mouth fly like that.
Yeah.
And
I'm pretty quiet around my in-laws.
yeah,
too.
this. It's good to have your ideals, but you gotta flex.
Yeah.
You gotta
Yeah.
flex some. Dude.
Yeah. Sometimes it's okay to just be like yeah, I feel you. Sometimes it's okay to take your ideals, your everything, and just go, we're just gonna put that over here for now.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna fit into this little hole.
And then that's something that took me a while to learn because my wife would get on me about that all the time. She's all saying, like, Mike, you and your fucking principles, you swear you can't break it. It's like
Your fucking principles.
no, because I really try to stick, to, because like if you don't have principles, then what do you have? You gotta have some sort of like morality code in life, to kind of to guide you, so
So
people
they like
know what
super
to.
racist. I'm gonna get you in trouble.
No, not
This is the cancel me.
not at all. Because one thing you have to realize, like the racist nature of Asians, it doesn't really come out until they're actually exposed to other cultures.
Gotcha.
It's nothing but Filipinos over there.
Yeah.
There is classism,
Mm-hmm.
where, the rich look down on the poor and so on like that. But in terms of racism, that shit don't really come out until they start going over to other countries
Okay.
or you know what? I mean, like there's a Korean like infiltration
Mm.
and in the Philippines. A lot of over the past 15, 20 years, there's been a lot of Koreans moving over there because they can make a better life for themselves so much easier over there. They can learn English over there. And there's definitely, a backlash towards that against, Filipinos because The thing is about like Filipinos in the Philippines, they tend to treat people of other ethnicities, of other races better than their own people.
Oh.
Yeah, it's it. You know, it ties into a money thing. It ties into the history of being colonized, and like kind of have this just kind of embedded in nature this kind of subservient mentality.
Yeah.
So it rubs wrong with some Filipinos too. And then if you see all these Koreans moving in and just acting like they own the fucking place, so their heads are gonna butt, and that's where the racism will come out. But for the most part, yeah, the whole Asian racism thing doesn't really come out until they're bombarded by other races. Yeah, I know, because I give Asians a lot of shit in my style. I love fucking on Asians, dude.
My favorite is Asians talking shit about Asians.
Yeah,
is the best.
Yeah, well, because you actually you grew up around Asians. You know about Asian culture. That's the thing. Because remember when we were talking one night with some of the comics, and I was trying to explain, dude, Asians aren't good at socializing, man. This person might not have, it has nothing to do with you. That person honestly just not good at socializing, and you knew about it right away. I didn't tell you. You fucking. Oh, okay. We are at an hour and 9 minutes already, dude. Yeah, I'm trying to keep these more at around an hour. So, cool. Michael, where can people find out about your stand-up dates? Where can they go?
So you can follow me on all the social medias at Michael D.A. George, MichaelDageorge, Facebook and Instagram. You can check out my YouTube channel. Just search Michael George Stand-Up Comedy. I'll pop up. Look for the beautifully coiffed hair. I don't have it right now, but it will be back in the winter. When is this coming out?
This will probably come out in 2 weeks.
2 weeks? Okay, so you missed that one. You could catch me, if you're in the area, you can catch me at Tommy T's on September 7th at 6:30. Tickets are $20. Go check that out. Or I'll be doing a show on the 2nd, but I can't even think of where that is, so don't even bother.
Cool. Then what's the name of your podcast?
Oh, yeah, my podcast is called The Bail Gun.
That's right.
It's not out yet because we're banking a bunch of episodes right now and editing. But we plan to release at the end of this month, so go check out Bail Gun. It'll be everywhere you find podcasts: YouTube, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all of it.
And are you having just local comics, or are you having a whole bunch of different kinds of people on there?
Everybody, like my buddy who's a tattoo artist, he's going to be on it.
Oh, nice.
I'm having you on it. Have comics. I had my sister on it this week. Yeah, just everybody.
What was that like? Are you and your sister close?
Yeah. Me and my sister.
So
are
it was
really
fun
close.
then.
So yeah, it was fun. It was just basically us ripping on each other and talking shit, and my buddy Joe having good questions, and then it got really strange because we started talking about sex stuff.
Ooh, yeah.
But like not in detail, but like because both me and my sister are bisexual, and so we were like talking about that and stuff.
What are the chances that both you and your sister would be bisexual?
My big sister, me, and my little sister.
What?
And my dad's twin brother's gay. My mom's sister is gay. My mom's aunt is gay.
Okay. So
There's more flamers in my family than straight people. It's really funny.
wow, it really is. I mean, if there was ever any doubt that is in the genes, I mean,
It's
there
in
you
the
go.
genes.
It's in the genes, folks. Come on, look at those numbers.
More evidence for sure. My family only makes queers, that's for sure.
All right, folks. Thanks for listening and watching. We'll see you.
Peace.
Hey guys, so thanks for tuning into the podcast, and a big thanks again to the fine folks at Sonity for letting us record the podcast here and for hooking us up with their delicious boba milk tea drinks. My wife Krista and I review boba milk tea spots all over the Bay Area. Believe me when I say that Sonity is definitely one of the best boba milk tea shops around. Make sure to follow them on Instagram at SAN as in Nancy and as in Nancy again, A19, that's sana.na19 on Instagram. And if you're listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, make sure to hit that follow/subscribe button, and make sure to give us a 5-star rating to give us some algorithm love. Okay? Thanks for listening.